Uh, Excuse me. All right. Hello, everybody. I got one of my students here in the community, of course. If you could, buddy, just share your name, what state you're from, and what property you have at the moment.
Hi, my name is Akyra. I'm based in Melbourne,
Mhm.
so in the state of Victoria. And what was the last question again?
How many properties you got at the moment?
Oh, at the moment I have one currently in the
Nice,
CBD area.
nice. Give me some backstory. So, are you currently working at the moment or previously working?
Previously I was working full time at a fast food restaurant, and that's when I started the Airbnb journey. And I actually just moved to another full-time job,
Mhm.
more in the office. So hopefully with that, I'll have much more flexibility to manage one property.
Nice. How do you think the balance was for work and then actually balancing the business as well, even in the beginning stages?
It was actually extremely tough, but I think that was a lot to do with the nature of the work I was in. It was a lot more unpredictable time-wise and as well as energy-wise because it's very physically taxing.
Hmm.
So trying to juggle between that and the business was I think was a really big struggle,
Mm, mm.
especially when there's any emergencies that happened. It was hard to deal with it the best I could in that
Yeah.
situation.
What do you think worked well for you? Was it balancing your time right or making time, setting aside?
To the business,
Yeah, for balancing the work and the business.
um, that's hard to say because it was tough the whole way.
Mm,
It was only when especially when you're starting out, you do most of the work in regards to calling calling agents, setting up the property. Um, that was I didn't know how I managed to do it, but I did it. Would I do it again, given in that situation? I would probably say maybe not. But now that part is over, it has been a lot more manageable. Just running the business, focusing on running the business rather than the initial setup.
yeah. So when you were looking for that first property, uh, how long was that process and how rewarding was it when you actually got that first one?
How long was it? Was it 1 month, 2 months? Did we call people 2 weeks? Oh, I thought it was a month, but apparently it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was just every day calling like 50 agents. And when we got the yes to move forward, it was it was a short breath of relief. But then when it came time to handle the next thing, which was furnishing, it
Mm.
was back to being stressful. So
Nice.
I felt like there was no time to rest.
Yeah. Well, still good job nonetheless, of course. Were you doing it all by yourself or did you have like a business partner with you?
No, I had my partner help me at every step of the way,
Nice.
however she could.
Nice. Do you think that like helped you out, like actually going through the whole mentorship and the business with a partner?
100%. And then there's been a lot of times, at times of emergency, where because of the nature of my job, I'm just unable to get it sorted. And in those situations, she would come and save the day and go to the property and settle whatever the issue is.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So how do you usually split the responsibilities between you and your partner for the business? Was it like balancing the calls back then or balancing the
Uh,
messaging now?
we don't really balance it. Basically, I try to do most of it, and whatever I'm unable to do, or whenever I need help, I just kind of ask her for help or delegate
Oh,
it to her.
nice.
But mostly, I try to do everything.
Nice. Also backtracking now, when you first joined the mentorship,
Hmm.
uh, were you like a little hesitant back then when you were joining, or were you like all in?
Um, I would say I was split 50-50,
Hmm.
more or less. It was mostly because of the initial price of the membership.
Hmm.
It was about like 15,000, and that's not including setting up the property. And I think as a foreigner, that was a lot of money in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that you're glad that you went through a mentorship route to give you the guidance and support, or do you think it was possible doing it on your own?
Um, that's hard to say. I would say the mentorship was definitely a push to get things going, and maybe if not for the mentorship, I wouldn't be in this position.
Mm,
But I think for the price and the mentorship we got, uh, it was hard to get in contact with a lot of the mentors at the time.
mm,
So there
mm.
were a lot of issues where if we had any issues and any questions, we couldn't get answers for like 2-3 days. And at the end, because of a time crunch, we had to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah, yeah,
I would say of of the whole mentorship, you've been the most helpful, Umut, because every other mentor was kind of not there, to be honest.
yeah. A big part of that was because just the large volume of students that they had,
Yeah,
and the crazy demand that was involved. That like I felt like I just wanted to step in a little bit and then just help you guys. If you ever just needed, I was just one message away.
yeah, you were definitely a big part of that help because in the beginning we did do a lot of uh not figuring out by ourselves. We did have the video modules, but we didn't have anyone to ask.
Mm,
And it was only until you came along and that we were able to actually get answers quickly on time. And
mm.
any issues, you were there.
Thank you, thank you. That's why we're really pushing for pretty much more mentors now to make sure that like our students are really prioritized as quick as responses as we can. And
Yeah.
even the modules as well, we're really pushing to update all of those as well to give you a lot of value.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Maybe more towards the booking side. Do you know one of your biggest bookings that you've gotten off the top of your
I
head?
would say our biggest one was, which one was it? I can't remember.
Would it be like an F1 booking? I'm assuming.
I remember, okay, so the first booking that comes to mind, and I'm not sure if this is the biggest one, was during F1, we did have a one night booking of like $800.
Nice, nice. And what would be like the rough cost for like the rent for one night?
So our rent is about is 640 per week, so that goes about to maybe 2.7K.
Hmm.
So I think per night it would be about $91.
Yep. Nice. Great margins there.
Yeah, great margins for that day.
Yep. And like in terms of like optimizing pricing and optimizing the listing,
Mm-hmm.
how much do you think that is important for like overall performance and like profit margins as well?
Um, I think it's really really important because I think not keeping track of what's going on and your base pricings and all that, it turned out to, like for example that we saw just now, even just a little bit of mismanaging the base prices turned out to have quite a big effect on the revenue.
Mm, mm, mm,
And I think the issue is that was because of the guidance we had last time. This was before you, Mood. Because of the guidance, it wasn't like quick and up to date. So
mm,
it was hard to know if what I was doing was correct,
mm.
which is why I really needed this call
Yeah,
today. I wanted to
yeah.
be
That's why I just
updated.
want to step in and just like optimize everything with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
a lot more happier with where your pricing is sitting on like revenue
Yes, yes.
management side.
Definitely. I'm a lot more happier and more calm and less worried so far.
Yeah, I'm more confident that we're gonna make better margins as well because I feel
Hmm.
like you were leaving some room on the table for the pricing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why we weren't making as much as we should have in like net profit per month.
yeah.
But now it's a little more optimized. We just increase the base price.
Hmm.
We should be seeing more margins per month now.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Yep. Yeah. Another thing is that we're actually pushing for upsells as well, for the business side. So it's
Hmm.
good to push for early check-ins and late checkouts for your guests.
Hmm.
Roughly around the $35 mark is a good number as well per hour.
Per hour. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing as well, what do you think in terms of the mentorship that you value as well? Is it the mentors? Is it the community? Is it the modules? What do you think?
So community is a big thing. If there's any issues, there were times where I needed answers and I just put in the group and I would just quickly get an answer. It's also good to know, to see that there are a lot of people who are going through the same journey. So it makes you feel more calm. You know, when things are going rough, you kind of just ask around and they'll tell you that, oh, it is a bit of a slower month. It keeps you grounded, rather than leaving up to imagination what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when it comes to mentors, it's hard to say because I would say the only mentor I had is you so far. So no comment on that. Just you. So
Yeah, at
no
least it's a good
mentors.
comment for me.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why
yeah.
we're really pushing for more mentors and more guidance for you guys, of course.
Yeah, hopefully, if there are newer students, hopefully they're able to get the attention that they
Yeah,
need
we
with more.
really noticed that that was a huge thing for the
Mhm.
mentorship overall. So that's why we've introduced all these other mentors, including me.
Yeah.
And like me right now, I've got 80 students all around Australia,
Um,
and I really prioritize these students, and any of the messages and all the calls are really important to me because their success is like just as important as my own success.
I see.
Yeah, yeah. Last question for you.
Okay.
So, imagine there's someone that wants to join the mentorship, but they're a little hesitant, but they have the money. What would you probably say to them?
Hesitant to join it, but have the money.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, what would I say to them? Um, Let me see. I'd say I'd say rather than letting the money sit somewhere in a bank where it will lose value over time, um, I say just take the jump because starting something, even though this may not be what you end up doing, long term, uh, the process of learning how to get things set up yourself, how to manage things, I
Mm,
think that'll take you far in general in life, not just for this business, but for whatever you um, plan to take up on in the future.
yeah, I get you. It's like instead of getting stuck in the system a little bit, we're taking that risk so that we can actually get out of the system and then
Hmm.
becoming more independent.
And then
More
with the
towards the entrepreneur, right?
confidence, yeah, with the confidence and knowledge, if this one doesn't work out for you, you'll at least have the courage to take the step into the next one.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Umut. Thank you very much for your time as well.